In an evolving family, there is a discussion about influence versus control. An evolving family relies on influence. Control comes from families that have a very traditional structure where there is a strict adherence to rules, that there are probably a lot of rules, and that there are some rules that may not make sense for everybody, so they're applied across the board to be fair, but they may be appropriate for somebody at one level and not appropriate for somebody at another level. The challenge with trying to control someone or having very heavy, strict, rigid rules is that ultimately we are only responsible and able to make changes in ourselves. That I decide my behavior, I decide how I'm going to express my feelings, I decide how I'm going to treat other people, I decide what I'm going to eat for lunch and when I'm going to go to bed, and those kinds of things. So say with a young child, there's a discussion about bedtime or taking a bath, and the parent very much wants things to go on a particular schedule for many reasons, and they're great reasons most of the time. But the fact of the matter is, as a parent, I can't wave a magic wand over my son's head and tell him that he's going to be in bed and asleep by 8:30. That doesn't work. It's still his body, right? I don't control his body. He is small enough now, because my son is 2 at this time, that I can pick him up and put him in the bathtub. But when he's 10, I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm a very small person. By the time he's 10, he's going to be larger than I am, and he'll be able to pick me up, right? So in an evolving family, we're not worried about controlling somebody. We're worried about influencing somebody, because we recognize that we are responsible for ourselves only. And that as much as we may want somebody else to do something in a particular way or by a particular time, really the most that we can do is influence. We provide compelling information. We talk about the impact that it might have on other family members. We talk about the impact that it might have on the other person. We talk about the pros and the cons, all of those things. When it comes down to it, we recognize as an evolving family that ultimately the decision belongs with the individual. Am I going to take a bath tonight or not? Or is my body ready to go to sleep right now or not? Those kinds of things. And we cannot hold on to the idea that we are responsible for our children, or we are responsible for our spouses. And there is a man by the name of Hal Runkel who has a series of material called Scream Free. So Scream Free Marriage, Scream Free Parenting. And he says this thing that I love, that we are not responsible for our children. We are responsible to our children. Our children are responsible for themselves. We are responsible for meeting their basic needs. We have that responsibility to them, right? We are not responsible for them. They are individuals. They have free will. And after the time that they are able to walk and talk, they start exercising that in a way that is hard for us, or harder for us, to argue with. And I really like the way that he says that. I'll say it again, that we are not responsible for our children. We are responsible to them. Our role is to influence. Our role is to guide. Our role is to provide as much information and wisdom from experience as we possibly can, knowing that our kids are individuals and they're going to make the choices that they're going to make.